One day, a quirky man pulls women's underwear from his pants, spreading it on a woman's corpse. He then sticks his hand into the red panties, engaging in unmentionable deeds. Old Pimp perceived that the moment had arrived and prepared to carry out the arrest. However, precisely when the two were on the verge of taking action, Old Cow inadvertently stepped on a twig, causing it to snap loudly, and subsequently the trio headed towards a factory. This place was filled with people in identical outfits. When they started to look worried, Old Pimp spotted a flash of red and instantly ordered everyone to line up. He took a quick glance at the crowd, then seized one person by the neck. After locking eyes for a moment, he confidently declared, "It's definitely her." A cow kicked him swiftly. Team Sue stepped up and brought him to the station, but he insisted he wasn't a killer. He explained having 2 kids at homemade intimacy with his wife troublesome, leading to his outrageous acts. He fled out of fear. They arrived at the man's house and found it as he described, but Old Pimp wouldn't let him go, resorting to interrogation again. After 3 days, the man confessed under torture, prompting Old Pimp to pull out his tape recorder. He recounted the case, with Old Pimp prompting him when he forgot. But during the grilling, he again mentioned the killer behind the school. Upon hearing this, Team Sue finally became alert and promptly set off to the school to investigate the situation. Sure enough, he found a house on the back hill. Walking in, he politely greeted the woman by the door. However, the sudden presence of this unknown man made her tense up right away. "Wait a second, look here. Is he a cop? Is it true?" she asked. "Yeah, where are you now?" "Wait, don't let him see." She glanced nervously at the clothes hanging outside. Suddenly realizing something, Team Sue called the female officer, and she revealed the truth. It turned out that, a few nights ago, she had also been assaulted by the killer, who first tied her hands behind her back and, after venting, stuffed a rock in her mouth. He covered her head with panties, matching other cases. She survived by never looking at his face. Afterward, she even played dead to escape a second catastrophe. But she remembered a crucial detail: the killer's hands were incredibly delicate and soft. Hearing the key info, Team C rushed to the interrogation room and found the pervert's hand covered in calluses. So he wasn't the killer. He turned, telling Old Pimp to release him, but Old Pimp had forced a confession, leading to a brawl between them. "You fool, don't you get it? Look at all these people, what a moron." Just then, the lady cop yelled to stop everyone because the radio blared a sad love song. Outside, rain poured. Team Sue urgently called the radio while the chief requested backup, but got no response. At the station, they waited helplessly for a call, which surprisingly came another young woman murdered. This time, the case was different. This time, they found a hard lump in the body of Peach the size of a fist. It was an outright provocation to the police, and Old Pimp realized his intuition was wrong. She ripped all the suspects off her list. Just then, they found the requester's info. Following the lead, they arrived at the factory and found his name was Pimp Kiwi. He looked dashing with delicate hands and started at the factory in September. This timeline precisely aligns with the occurrence of the first case, yet he solely admitted to having requested a song, firmly denying any participation in the murder. It is worth noting that the time of his death the previous day was at 7:30 p.m. He remarked that he had dashed out immediately after hearing that very song back then. As Team Sue elaborated on his theory, he suddenly stood up in a rage. Old Cow, who had punched someone, was banned from entering the interrogation room by the chief. Old Pimp and Team Sue were truly at a loss for what to do. They couldn't find a complete evidence chain to convict Pimp Kiwi, which had left them in a deadlock. Team Sue even contemplated using Old Pimp's outdated methods, which truly left him feeling very puzzled and confused. How does he know the killer's MO in detail? Only because Bai Guan Hao was a witness. They hurried to Bai's BBQ shop to look for Bai Guan Hao. Old Pimp saw a cow drinking alone, so he sat beside him to comfort him. At that moment, the TV was running a story about a cop being dismissed for taking the law into his own hands, causing Old Cow to have a meltdown, which led to chaos. Bai Guan Hao rushed in, hit Old Cow with a stick. Unexpectedly, It had a nail. Old Pimp and Team Sue chased him as he climbed a pole, then came down after their encouragement. It turned out that while trailing Sangshu, he stumbled upon her murder. Old Pimp quickly showed Bai Guanhao a photo, asking if the killer was in it. At that moment, Bai Guanhao's dad and the individual who had just been assaulted chased out, resulting in a scene of chaos all around. Seizing the chance, Bai Guanhao fled and reached the tracks. Old Pimp shouted to stop, but it was too late. After that, Old Pimp was disheartened, rarely leaving home. The guy was released over interrogation limits. Just as they were at a dead end, they discovered traces on the body. They could convict Pimp Q through DNA matching, but Korea didn't have that tech back then. They had to send samples to America for testing and wait. Our cow's leg developed tetanus. The only way to save his life was to amputate the leg that was previously tortured during questioning. During transport, to prevent Pimp Q's recurrence, Team C watched him closely. But one day, he boarded a bus unnoticed. At that moment, the bus broke down, leaving them helplessly watching him get away under their noses. Meanwhile, Old Pimp's wife was heading home, unaware of a lurking shadow watching her in the woods. Just then, the killer spotted a younger, easier target, another female student, and changed his plans. He covered the girl's mouth, dragged her into a thicket, found a secluded spot, and laid out her pencil sharpener, ballpoint pen, and fork neatly. And just like that, the girl waited silently for her impending torment and the inevitable demise that awaited her. The next day, the police arrived at the scene after receiving a report. Team Sue discovered the victim was the student who had given him clues a few days earlier. Her body was riddled with blades and ballpoint pens, a horrific sight. Team Sue was left heartbroken, feeling as if his heart was being pierced with daggers, and he stormed out in rage. He headed to the factory and found Pimp Q lounging on the ground, completely unconcerned. Fueled by anger, he didn't even hesitate. He kicked him all the way to the train tunnel. He was out for revenge for the slain student. Evidence. Enjoyed this video? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.